Good afternoon. Um, Last night I was planning on making a video explaining my platform for candidacy, and this afternoon I came home to an article which said basically that I have no platform. In fact, it was made by someone who wouldn't know, and second of all, I question why he would care, especially when it doesn't affect him. Um, of course, I'm speaking of Mr. Bayer, Frederick Sebastian Bayer. Um, I do have a platform, and my platform is essentially based upon what unites us as an organization. We stand out from all other organizations within our community that have remained today. We stand out against the IMTO as the more professional counterpart. We stand against, we stand independent of Tasman Pacific, TASPAT, which has seemingly begun to hemorrhage members. It's lost Zealandia, and a few weeks ago there was talk of A1 leaving. I'm not sure what has happened there, but it it's seemingly on shaky grounds, let's say the least, especially with recent involvement um, showing their support for Mr. Aldrich Lucas. Um, my platform is rather simple. What unites us together as an organization is that we all have micronations. We're all micronationalists. Um, so it makes sense for us as an inter-micronational organization to unite what brings us together and to focus on this. Some of our candidates have very grandiose ideas about how they can improve the GUM. I must admit that none of my plans are very large or are very specific. I do have one specific plan, though, but the broader goal is essentially cultural advancement. Um, this one specific goal is to form a sort of university system. Many of our member states, many micronations throughout the community, have universities. Many of them, such as the University of Torrendente, I believe there was talk of beginning a university in the Grand Duchy of Kos. The state of Sandus has um, the Collegio Sacerdote, which acts as both a cultural, religious, and education organization within our state. So there are many places of education within the community. They all lack activity, they all lack members, they all lack subjects, etc. So the very basis of this um, university system would unite all of them so that if you're a member of one of them, you're a member of all of them. The second idea is to create a system um, uh, of credits and degrees. Um, it would be unlike uh, macronational universities, macronational colleges. It would have to be dissimilar to that because we aren't acting on the same basis. For instance, some colleges might um, focus more on sciences or on the arts. I know here in Sandus we would most likely focus on history and on religion and philosophy. Um, and it wouldn't necessarily promote a system of universities that um, had a professor lecturing to students. It would be independent of this. Um, Essentially, what it would try to promote is the idea of the students, in this case micronationalists or members, um, having discussions. It would date back um, to the university systems, to the scholasticism of the medieval era. These are coupled by monthly discussions in GUM Lounge or in the quorum room, which could be used to discuss cultural advancement. Um, we already have national reports, and they aren't really utilized that much when others um, talk about policies that they're adopting. They're not just about things that have happened in the past, but they're also about things that interest member states. I remember when I first joined the GUM, and being the second oldest member of the GUM uh, to date, this was a long time ago, but I remember that the national reports actually did serve a valid purpose. They serve a very good purpose. Many of Sandus's cultural items, for instance, Chanamunum, arose out of these national reports. So they are very good ideas, but they're not currently used for cultural advancement within the GUM. And that is something that I believe that um, the Advancement Council should also look at. I agree with many of the ideas of my candidates. Um, the idea of a micronational map, I believe, is a very good idea. The idea of a website that is updated quite often, I believe, is another good idea. I believe we should also focus on specific congresses or um, meetings to discuss certain issues within the community. Right now, we operate on a quorum basis, which happens every Sunday. I believe that every month or so we should have discussions on cultural advancement, on political stability, um, what might happen uh, over the next month, etc. Predictions. And also places where we can improve uh, each on each individual micronation. We should also begin to have some sort of preparation for when we become actual solid states. And I think that is something that we should look at. In the past, there was a project to own land in uh, some place. I think it was Maine or Quebec. But all of the member states who were in this project and was sponsored by the GUM would move to this land and they would be given a plot and that would be their country, their micronation. I believe a similar issue, a similar topic should be discussed. Um, Not only with that, but we should have a sort of realistic, pragmatic form of territorial sovereignty that we should look at. It should be in the form not of independent states, but also of a realistic form of communes or something. But that is something that I think all member states could look forward to. And we could also have discussions on how to improve activity, how to how to improve citizenship, um, what sort of benefits we could give to citizens, etc. These are all ideas that I think we should all be considering. And elected chair, I believe that I will man these discussions, these ideas, these committees, these councils, etc., so that these things are discussed. Um, Essentially, what we must also think about is the fact that there is little study done in micronationalism, and rather so for a reason. That's because most micronations typically don't last long, are very small, etc. So I believe that we should begin to look at micropatriology, the study of micronations, and we should begin to use that in the GUM. that is another place where we could advance and become culturally and socially independent of our, not only of our predecessors, but of our counterparts in other micronations and in other organizations. All of these ideas are things that I would support. I have the experience, the work, I have shown my dedication to my state, and I have shown my dedication to the GUM by refounding it, by helping to refound it. I believe that I would make a good candidate, but even if not elected, it surely will not hinder my ability in the GUM. And I surely wish that whoever is elected is fair and honest and will side, hopefully, with me in supporting cultural advancement for the GUM. It's it's a, it's independent of whomever is elected that I believe that our organization ought to pursue cultural advancement, academic advancement, and intellectual advancement as well. These are things where we can surely advance, and I think that we have come, in many ways, a lot more unified and independent of our counterparts in the broader international community. Um, so, with that, that is typically all that I'm currently thinking about. I will most likely have another one of these videos up in a few, well, days or so forth. Um, but it, I believe it is important for us to focus on cultural advancement. I might do another video of my plans for political stability, for my plans of combating aggression within the community and acting as a bloc, because we must realize that we are uh, more unified than we ever have been in our history as an organization. Even when I joined the GUM in 2009, we are perhaps the most solidified, um, united bloc in the community as of yet. If not us, it's probably Tasman, which, as I said, is currently flaking off, and many people are not happy with it. Of course, I would be one of them, but that's despite our membership in GUM. So once again, thank you. Hopefully, I will be doing one of these videos again very soon, very shortly. So thank you, and good afternoon.